Hey guys, so it is officially spooky season, and what good way to start off spooky season than telling ghost stories and paranormal activity, things like that. So, this is some scary stories that has happened. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it's what I found on the internet. So, let's not waste time and read them. So the story is called It Wasn't a Little Girl. I was camping with my husband and his family at a small, remote lake in New Mexico. There were about 10 people in our group and another group of 6 people in the next campsite. It was nighttime and both groups were doing typical activities, making s'mores, having a few drinks, and telling stories, when we all heard what sounded like a little girl yelling out for help. Neither group had children with them, but we were all positive we were hearing a little girl and decided to search the area we heard the noises from together. There was a field behind our campsite, and we all saw a very tall, pure white figure standing maybe 100 feet away from us in the field making the noises. We all agreed this thing looked maybe 6 feet tall, skinny, and white as can be. We made our way closer to investigate, but whatever it was that we saw started backing off as we got closer and disappeared into the trees. All night we continued to hear a little girl calling for help as we tried to sleep. Wow. Why would you further investigate? I would just run. I'm not staying here. I'm getting a hotel. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. Also, I cannot see for nothing. So I like doing this. I have my glasses right here, but it doesn't, do justice. So, this one is called The Walking Dead. I am a psychiatric nurse, and early in my career, I worked at a residential mental health facility. One of our residents was an elective mute, which means that he didn't/wouldn't/couldn't talk. But there were no medical reasons as to why. He had spoken earlier in his life, and in fact seemed quite normal back then, with the exception of being close to 7 feet tall. He'd been raised in the deep south and joined the military when he was 19, but one night he vanished. He was declared AWOL, and eventually he was declared missing and dead. 10 years later, a 7-foot tall man walked into a VA hospital emergency room in my part of the Midwest and said to the receptionist, "My name is Marion Desuni, not the real name, and I've been dead for 10 years. Those were the last word he ever spoke. He was covered in dust, and he was wearing the same clothes he'd been reported to be wearing the night he vanished. His social security number had not been used, and he had no identification on his person. However, they were able to identify him, I guess, via fingerprints. The family was notified, but they said they had already grieved their lost man and that whomever was claiming to be him simply could not be. They demanded not to be contacted again. Marion paced all day, every day, moving his mouth that looked like talking or muttering, but no sound came out. He had an unnerving habit of throwing his head back with his mouth wide open as if he were laughing heartily, but not even a breath could be heard. If I talked to him, he appeared to listen, periodically throwing his head back in that laughter mimicking way of his. Various medications were tried, but they did not affect him either positively or negatively. Occupational therapy did nothing because Marion would just grin, and unless told to stay put, he get up and start pacing again. On my last day at that job, the last thing I saw was Marion pacing the parking lot, throwing his head back to laugh. Later, I wonder if all along I've been dealing with a ghost. All these years later, I still don't know. Should I be reading this by myself? I don't know. These are... wow. There's like 11 of them, but I'm not going to read all of them. The next one is called The Unrest Stop. I was driving across country with my mom and sister when I was 16, and my sister was 20. It was late, but we were well rested, still, and alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, so we stopped at the only rest stop in 200 miles. They were a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We'd been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night and had never been afraid until then. My mom and sister went inside and I stayed in the car. Her teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work, and they left in a hurry. I was watching the car in front of us, and the two men had not moved at all, not an inch. They weren't talking. They weren't on phones. They were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back to the car. When we got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us, while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear to effing ish, we all saw the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch and empty, truly empty. Not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void. I should have before. We sped out of there and didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about the entire experience, we couldn't find the place on any map. We couldn't find the place on any map. We knew exactly which spot on the interstate to look, and we couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. My heart's beating. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station out on that stretch of road and got only confused looks. We travel on that interstate since, and there's no rest stop. I mean, only people that knew was them and the teenagers. So, no, heck no. If that happened, The next story is called It Came For Us in the Graveyard. We were driving my friend's really old, beat up I cannot pronounce this word. Subaru through a massive graveyard. We stopped and walked down a hill and came across a little pond. There was someone sitting on a rock on the other side of the pond. The figure was all black and we couldn't make out any features other than the fact it looked like a man who was wearing some old style top hat. We stupidly waved and shouted, "Hi!" He didn't show any acknowledgement and continued sitting still on the rock. All of a sudden, he jumped to his feet, started running to us on the water, and vanished in thin water about halfway on the pond. My friends and I screamed and ran back to the car. The car wouldn't start, of course, and we heard something banging on the back of the door. It was a constant bang. Every few seconds or so we hear it. Nobody was outside. From what we could see in the dark, something was making a noise in the car. I opened my phone and started dialing my mom to come give us a boost. Of course. But I had no service. None of us had cell service. The next 30 minutes we spent trying to get her car started. No begging was heard afterwards. But we felt this heavy pressure around us. Finally, the car started and shook the pedals to the metal. We sped out of the graveyard so fast, immediately crossing the gates. All of our phones regained cell service. One thing I know for certain is that someone or something was out there, and it was not an animal or a human. First off, why did you stop? Like, if you're going through a graveyard, why would you stop? Like, oh, there's a little pond. We should go check it out. No. Not even that. But if you saw someone, why would you say hi? Like, I have chills right now. Like, I have chills. Oh my god. Or it's me because I'm cold, but I have chills no matter what. This one is called It Was Good to See an Old Friend. When I was 37, I went to my high school reunion. I flew into the nearest airport and rented a car. The distance was about 35 miles through a very rural and almost abandoned part of the country. About 3 miles outside of town, I see someone on the side of the road flagging me down. It turned out that it was just one of the guys I had attended school with. Jim, not his name, gets in the car and we start talking. I had not seen him in 20 years, but he still looked the same. He was a little older. We get to town, I asked him if he wanted to come to the VFW and have a drink. He says no, just take me home. Jim's parents had only lived a few blocks from my grandparents' house, and I turned in that direction. He said to take him to the outskirts of town. There was a mobile home park out there, and I figured that that's where he lived. When we reached the end of the turn, he said, just drop me off here. It's good to see you again. And walks off into the night. I go to the VFW, met some of my old classmates, and we start to talk. As we were talking about who was coming to the reunion, I mentioned that I just picked up Jim about 3 miles east of town, and I dropped him off. Everyone gets quiet. Even the guy singing karaoke stops and lays down the mic. My cousin goes white as a new t-shirt. Barb, Jim died on that curve 8 years ago. Rolled his car. We all were at his funeral, I was told. I started to feel really dizzy, and I went out to the car and take some deep breaths. There on the seat on the local newspaper, printed 8 years previous, containing Jim's obituary. I still have the paper. I would sell my car so fast. I would be like, no way. This is the last story I'm telling. It's called Hell Hath No Fury Like a Woman Scorned. After we moved into our home, we were told a woman had died there at the hands of her abusive husband. She hated men. Just kidding. I'm joking. My dad would wake up with scratches all over himself. Whenever my brother was mean to my sister or I, he would have scratches on him as well. One day, my brother hurt our sister. He hit her with something. When he woke up later that night, he had a horrible bloody nose. The day we moved out, my brother accidentally broke his... Sorry, I thought I saw something. Okay. It's in my head. Okay, it's in my head. Okay. Sorry. The day we moved out, my brother accidentally broke his twin's arm trying out a wrestling move. He swears that he would have died that night if it wasn't our last in the house. I'm gonna go now listen to some gospels, some Christian music. yeah. These scaries, for me, I can't believe. I mean, I believe it for sure, but it's like how? Because, like, I mean, I've been through kind of paranormal experiences in my life where like my sister did. I think I said that in a video a long time ago talking about it. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how the dead or whatever can talk to us or we can see it or something like that. It's crazy how that like blends into our world. Makes me like wonder what else is there, you know. Are mermaids even real? Possibly, maybe. I mean, if ghosts are real, and now the government saying aliens are real, which I don't believe that. 'Cause have we even saw one? You know, people say they see UFOs, but I don't know. Anyone can like replicate that and make people think they see something when they don't. But it's like I need hardcore like proof. I need to see it or something. But yeah, I'm not reading anymore. You guys can read it. It's a website. I'll put the link in the description if you want to read more. But no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. I should say in the beginning that if you get scared easily, then it is not for you. It's too late now, but yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. My heart is beating so fast. Okay, sorry. So yeah, what are you guys gonna be for Halloween? As I planned, up my sleeves. Gonna be for Halloween. It is cute. It is nostalgic. It's a character I've always wanted to be. One of the characters I've always wanted to be. And yeah. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Try to see more of me. And I love spooky season. I love Halloween. It's my favorite ever. I love being spooked out. I love it so much. So yeah. Hope you have amazing. Hope you guys have amazing dinner, evening, wherever you are. Remember to have faith in yourself and believe in yourself. And hope you be safe this Halloween. If you have anything planned in the future, or Halloween season, I should say. And yeah, tell me, what is your favorite scary movie? Mine might be The Conjuring because it's based on a real experience. Anyway, yeah. What? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm not sure if I said make sure or don't remember to have faith in yourself and believe in yourself. Okay, I'm not sure I said that, but say it again if I didn't. Or I did. Oh my gosh, I need to go. I'm tripped. I'm tripped over. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye.